Welcome everyone to Yoga Basics. Today you will need a strap, have your chair nearby, and a yoga block. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So sitting comfortably on the mat, preferably on a couple folded blankets, or maybe even sitting on your block. Your legs can either be crossed or extended out in front of you. And we'll just take a few moments to prepare the body. So go ahead and close the eyes and turn the attention inward and shutting out the busyness and chaos of the day. Taking a moment to notice how your body feels. Especially noting any areas of tension or tightness. And then taking 2 deep cleansing breaths. So take a nice big inhale through the nose and exhale it all out by blowing or sighing it out. And one more nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then soften the muscles of the face. Relax the muscles of the neck and the shoulders. And then turn the attention to the breath. Notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. And then we'll begin a nice, even breathing. Inhaling and exhaling to a count of 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. And just continue with this nice, even breathing. If at any time it makes you lightheaded or dizzy, just go back to your own normal breathing pattern. And then we also set an intention for each practice to help remind us why we are here. So that may be a benefit you would like to receive, or just an uplifting or a positive thought or phrase. So think of an intention that you'd like to have for your practice today. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. If you did have your legs folded and you want to switch that top leg, go ahead and do that. And then we'll begin the warm-up by turning our heads to look out over that right shoulder. And coming back to center and turning to look out over the left. And back to center, dropping the chin to the chest. And then picking the chin up towards the ceiling and jutting that lower jaw out. And coming back to center and dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. And back to center and left ear to left shoulder. And back to center, extending the hands out in front, and then open and close the fingers. And then some wrist circles. And reverse. And then bringing the hands back to the lap, we'll do some shrugs. And then the next time you pick the shoulders up, roll them to the back. Good. Bring the shoulders back to neutral. Extend the arms out in front. Bring the palms and elbows together. And then clasping the hands. With your next inhale, extend the elbows out, lift the chest and chin. And then with your exhale, fold back to center, bringing the elbows together, dropping the chin. And then inhale, expand out. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, expand. Exhale, center. And again, inhale, expand. And exhale, folding into center. Good. And then releasing the arms down, bringing the right hand to the outside of the right hip. Inhale, sweep that left arm up, and exhale, bend to the right. And then release back to center and switch. So right arm comes up, and then exhale, bend to the left. Good. Release to center, and coming into a twist, we'll take that right hand, place it on the, left hand on the right knee. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, turn and look to the right. Good. Release back to center, switch hands. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, turn and look to the left. Good. Release back to center. And then if you did have the legs crossed, just extend them out in front of you, shake them out a little bit. And then taking your hands, placing them behind the right thigh, we'll pull that right knee in and extend it out. And then the next time you pull it in, hold it there, point and flex the foot. And then some ankle circles. And reverse. Good. And then left, same thing, bend and extend. Just warming up that knee and thigh. And then the next time you pull the knee in, hold it there, and we'll point and flex the foot. And some ankle circles. And reverse. Good. And then we'll come onto hands and knees. If you would like to open up your blanket just to pat those knees a little bit, go ahead and do that. And then as you come into hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under the hips, just about hip width apart. And then we'll come into a spinal warm-up of cat-cow. So with an inhale, lift the chest and chin or tailbone, arching the spine. And then with your exhale, press into your hands to help you round through that back, dropping the chin. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale, into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good, and last one, inhale and exhale. Good. Bring the spine back to neutral, and then we'll come into child's pose. So bringing the hips down towards the heels. Remember, you can always place a blanket across the calves, or even just stay here and drop the head down. So whatever's comfortable for you, just to take a few breaths. And then extending the arms out in front of you, we're going to come back up to hands and knees, and then drop your hips down, lift the chest. So you're doing a little back bend here. And then from here, you're going to curl your toes, press into your hands, and come into downward facing dog. Keep a bend in the knees, extend through the arms and shoulders. Good. Bend the knees, come back to child's pose. So we're going to do that little, what's called a vinyasa, so that little movement. We'll start here in child's pose. We'll go to an up dog or cobra, and then into downward facing dog. And we're going to do that 3 times. All right? So here we go. We're going to inhale. Now you're going to walk your hands forward so that they're under your shoulders. Drop the hips down. Little back bend. Now curl your toes. From here, press into those hands. Come up into downward facing dog. Good. Then drop those knees. Come back into child's pose. Good. All right, here we go. Come forward. Make sure those hands are far enough forward that you can support the upper body. Just drop those hips a little bit. Curl your toes. Push up. Keep a bend in the knees. Good. Come back to child's pose. All right, we're going to do that one more time. Good. All right, here we go. Come forward. Just drop the hips. You can keep a bend in the elbows if you need to. Then curl your toes, press into those hands as you come up. Good. And then bring those knees down. From here, we'll come up to standing. So if you would like to step a foot forward and come up from here, or rocking back onto the balls of the feet, and then come up to standing. All right, we'll go ahead and the blanket to the side. And then we're going to also do a little bit of movement standing. So make sure you have your chair nearby. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to place the chair to the long side of the mat, and you're going to stand facing the chair. Now, because my chair is going to block what I'm doing a little bit, I'm not going to use the chair. I'm going to pretend the chair is there for now. But you're going to have your chair in front of you, again on that long side of the mat. All right, so we're going to start by coming into Tadasana. So finding those four corners of the feet, having the feet hip width apart, and tighten up the front of the thighs. Good. Bring the arms alongside the body, palms facing each other. Lift and tighten the abdominals. Focus on the spine, lengthening up from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Picking the shoulders up. As you roam down the back, lift the chest. Good. Keeping the chin parallel to the floor, gazing forward. And just taking a few breaths here. Good. All right, so we're going to start that little movement called a vinyasa. So a vinyasa is you're just moving from one pose to the other. So we're going to do it. We'll start on the right side and then on the left. All right. So starting in Tadasana, we'll start with a little side bend. So inhale the arms up. Take your left index finger and thumb and grab the back of your right wrist. And then with an exhale, slowly bend to the left. Good. Then inhale back to center. Release the arms down to shoulder height. You're going to widen your feet, turn your toes out a little bit, and with your exhale, we're going to come into goddess pose. Now, with goddess, the key is you don't want your knees collapsing forward. So that's why we turn our feet out so that your knees can stay in line with your toes. Good. With your next inhale, go ahead and come on up. Go ahead and release your arms. From here, you're going to turn your left foot forward. Continue turning your right foot out. We're going to come into warrior two. So however far you can judge your stance here. Then you're going to bend that right knee. With your inhale, bring the arms up to shoulder height. Turn to look out over that middle right finger. Good. Take a breath. And then from here, we're going to reverse warrior. So left hand on the back of the left thigh. Inhale, sweep that right arm up. You're doing that little side bend here. Good. So exhale. With your next inhale, bring the arms back to shoulder height. Straighten the right knee. And with your exhale, push the weight into the left hip. And then we'll come into triangle. So drop that right arm down. It'll either be on your thigh or shin, sweeping the left arm up. Good. And then with the inhale, come back to center. Go ahead and release the arms down. Turn your right foot back, not the whole way forward because we're coming back into goddess. Turn the left foot out. Sweep the arms up to shoulder height. Bend the elbows so those arms are 90 degrees. Adjust your heels so that your knees are in line with your toes, coming back into goddess. Good. Then inhale, come on up. Turn your feet in. So now your toes are pointing in a little bit. You're going to bend from the hip. Here's where your chair is going to come in. You're going to do a wide leg forward fold. So again, I can probably grab it. I didn't want it in the shot the whole time so you can see. All right, so inhale, you're going to bend from the hip, pushing the weight back a little bit. Bring the hands to the chair. Keep the back straight. So position yourself wherever you have to keep the back straight. If you can, maybe bringing the head down, forearms on the chair. Good. Take a breath. Good, and then go ahead and inhale. Again, you're lifting from the hip. Bring the torso up. Good. And then exhale it out. We'll go ahead and bring those feet back in. You can even kind of hop them in if you want. And then we're going to go through that on the left side. All right. So starting now in Tadasana, inhale, sweep the arms up, grab the back of the left wrist. With the exhale, bend to the right. Good. Come back to center, release those arms down. We're going back out into goddess. So widen the feet, turn those toes out or bring the heels in, and then exhale as you bring those arms down. Good. Shoulder height. Keep those knees in line with your toes. Good. And then inhale, come on up, turn the right foot forward, continue to turn the left foot out. Line up the heel with the instep of the right foot. Bend the left knee, bring the arms up to shoulder height as you come into warrior two. Good, and then right hand goes to the back of the right thigh. As you inhale, extend that left arm up. For reverse warrior. Good. Then inhale, straighten the left knee. Exhale, push the weight into the right hip, coming into triangle pose. Tighten the front of that left thigh. Good, and breathe. Good. Then inhale, come on back up. And then exhale, bring the arms down, turn that left foot about 45 degrees, turn the right foot back out. We're going to come back into goddess. So exhale, almost lost my balance there. Bring those arms up. Good, take a breath. Good, inhale, come on up. Turn the feet in now, heels are out. We're going to do that wide leg forward fold. Good. Inhale and then exhale from the hip. Imagine my chair's in front of me. You'll either place your forearms on the chair or just your hands. And that's fine too. Just be aware of that low back. You don't want it to round. If you don't have a chair, if you have blocks, you can do blocks too. So lots of options. Good. Bring those hands to the hips. Lift that torso. All right. Walk those feet back in. So we're going to go through that one more time on each side. I'm going to go just a little bit faster. Basically, we're going to hold each pose for about 2 breaths, not real long. Okay, here we go. We're starting in Tadasana. So we're back to the right side. So inhale the arms up, grab the back of the right wrist, and exhale, bend to the left. Good, and breathe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, widen the feet. You're going to come into goddess. Turn those toes out. Good. Coming down, elbows about shoulder height. Good. With your next inhale, extend up, turn the left foot forward, right foot goes out. Exhale, bend that right foot. Bring the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, turn and look out over the middle right finger for warrior two. Again, about 2 breaths. Bring the left hand to the left thigh. Inhale as you extend into reverse warrior. Again, keep breathing. Good. Come back up with the arms at shoulder height. With your inhale, straighten the right knee. Exhale, push the weight into the left hip as you come in to triangle. Good, and then inhale, come on back up. Go ahead and exhale the arms down. Turn the right foot to about 45 degrees, left at 45 degrees. Inhale, arms up. Turn your palms forward. Exhale, come back into goddess. Good. Inhale, come on up. Hands on those leg creases. Turn your toes in, heels out. Exhale, coming forward into a wide leg forward fold. Again, place your hands. Your chair is going to be in front of you. Just keep those hands on the chair. Maybe your forearms, if you're okay, coming forward and keeping the back straight. Good, and then place those hands back on the leg creases. Come on up. Turn those feet so they're parallel, and then walk or hop those feet together. All right, here we go. We've got the left side still. All right, take a nice big inhale. Grab the back of that left wrist. Exhale, bending to the right. Good. Inhale back to center. Widen those feet. Turn the toes out as you exhale and come into goddess. Try to keep the knees in line with the toes. Good. Inhale up as we come into warrior two. This time, turn the right foot forward. Continue to turn the left foot out. Bend that left knee. Inhale, arms up at shoulder height. Exhale, turn and look out over that middle left finger. Take about 2 breaths here. Good. Let's come into reverse. Right hand on the back of the right thigh. Inhale, extend that left arm up. Good. 2 breaths. Good. And then exhale, bring those arms back down. Inhale, straighten the left knee. As you exhale, push the weight into the right hip. Bring that left hand down as you come into triangle. And again, 2 breaths here. Good. Inhale, lift the torso. Go ahead and exhale, give those arms a little break. Bring your left foot about 45 degrees. Turn that right foot out at 45. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come back into goddess. So adjust your feet. Keep the knees in line with the toes. 2 breaths. Good. Inhale, come on up. Here we go on our forward fold. Bring the toes in, heels out. Exhale, bending from down here in the hip. Keep the back straight. You have your chair in front of you. Either just keep the hands on the chair or bring the forearms down. Try to keep your hips in line with your ankles. I know it's easy to push the hips back. And the weight is in your hips somewhat, but just try not to excessively push those hips back. Good. All right. Inhale, lift the torso. And then as you exhale, we'll begin to walk those feet into one another. Good. All right. So that was our little bit of vinyasa for today. We still have one more pose we're going to do. And this time, you can have the option of using the chair or your block. We're going to come into twisted triangle. So now you'll put your chair at the short end of your mat. And you can use your block. I'll show you either for the hand that's coming down, or you can also use it on your chair. It's just going to depend mainly on your flexibility. So let's start by facing the chair. You don't want to be too far back. I would say have your toes maybe just a couple inches back from the edge of the chair. All right, take a nice big inhale. With your exhale, we're going to step the left leg back first. So bend the left knee. Now, as you step it back, you're going to press the heel down. You're going to keep the right knee straight. You want to square your hips so that they're facing the chair. Good. Now take another big inhale, and then coming forward from the hip joint, or from that leg crease like we just did, place the left hand, here's where your block might come in handy, on the chair, on the seat of the chair, or the block can be on the floor, and you can place your left hand on the block. So I'll just stay here since I'm already here. And then you'll turn, think of those lower left ribs, turning first to the right, and then extending that right arm up, or just keeping it on your hip. Try to pull those inner thighs towards each other. Good. Continue to breathe. Good. And then with the exhale, go ahead and bring that right arm down. Bend the right knee so that you can step that left foot forward. And then we'll try it on the other side. I'm going to move over here so you can see me. So this one I'll do with my hand on the chair, so you can see that one. But again, whatever is best for you, putting the block on the chair, putting your hand on that, that works great too. All right, so here we go. Facing the chair, again, keeping the toes pretty much just underneath the seat of the chair. Weight this time will go in the left leg. Bend the right knee. As you step that right foot back, press the heel down. You're going to keep the left knee straight. Hips are square to the chair. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bend from that leg crease, so your back stays straight, and then begin to rotate those right lower ribs to the left. Bring your right hand to the chair. As you turn and look to the left, you can keep that left hand on your waist, or you can extend it up. Pull your inner thighs towards each other. Good. Continue to breathe. Good. And with the exhale, go ahead and release the left arm. Bend the left knee so you can step that right foot forward. And then just walk it out. Shake those legs a little bit. And then go ahead and put your chair to the side. We're going to come down on the mat. All right, we're going to come down on our backs. So just rolling down on your side and then rolling over on your back. We're going to do a little bit of core work first. So laying on your back, keep your knees bent, and then you're going to lift your feet so that your legs are at 90 degrees. Keep your knees over your hips, and you can place your hands down here on your lower abdomen, and you're going to feel those are the muscles that we're working. They're called your transverse abdominals. Part of your girdle to keep everything tight. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a toe tap. So here's kind of your neutral starting point. We're just going to take the right toe, tap it down, bring it back. Then the left and right. Hopefully you're feeling those muscles working. Good. Just take your time here. Control what you're doing. Try to keep the abdominals tight. That will help support that low back. Tap and back. Let's do a couple more. Good. Now, you can do a couple more alternating, or now this is going to really work that low back. If you have low back issues, just continue with the alternating. You know what I'm going to say here? Try both. Okay? But you are going to feel that in that low back. So remember to be a little conservative here. Better that you just alternate a couple more times. If you do want to try both, make sure you keep those abs tight because you're really going to overarch that low back. Good. All right, let's stop there. We don't want to overdo it. Now, take those knees, hug them in. Good. You can even do a couple of knee circles or a little rock back and forth. Good. All right, let's go ahead and place those feet back down on the mat as we come into bridge pose. So you want your feet right underneath your knees. And then your options are to keep the upper arm on the mat to help you lift. You're going to press into that. Or once the hips are lifted, then bring the arms underneath the back. All right, so pressing into your heels with your next inhale, begin to lift the hips. Here's where those upper arms can help too. Pressing into the upper arms. So you can stay here, or you're going to roll on each side to tuck the shoulders under the back, extending the arms towards the heels. Good. So the weight should be in your shoulders, not on your neck. Good. And breathe. If you need to take a break at any time, go ahead and do that. Release your arms out to the side, and then slowly lower those hips back down. Come back to hugging those knees in. Good. And then from here, go ahead and roll onto your side. Use your arm to push yourself back up into a seated position. Go ahead and grab your strap. And just have your strap close to you. And then sitting up on your blanket, we're going to come into a twist, and then we'll come into our forward fold. Let's start by extending the left leg and having the knees and toes pointing up. And then we're going to just slide that right foot in towards your sits bones. All right, and then with the inhale, lengthen the spine. With your exhale, we're going to begin to turn to the right. So just like in twisted triangle, those lower left ribs are turning first. As you begin to turn, just take that left hand, wrap it around that right knee, and hug it in towards you. Bring the right hand around behind you to support the spine. Keep it tall as you turn and look to the right. And breathe. Continue to breathe. Good. And then with your exhale, release that twist back to the center. And then we'll try it on the other side. So just sliding that left foot in. Good. Reach through your right heel. Inhale to lengthen. And then as you exhale, now the right lower ribs will turn first. Use your right arm to hug that left knee in. Bring the left hand around behind you to support the spine as you exhale and look to the left. And then come back to your nice, even breathing. Again, taking about 3 or 4 breaths here. Good, and then with your next exhale, go ahead and release the twist. Extend the legs back out. Now we're going to come back into that same form. And then we're going to bend the right knee again. This time we're going to do this. It's called Marichyasana. So that was the twist in Marichyasana. Now we're going to do a forward fold. So right knee is bent. You've slid that right foot in towards you. You're going to grab your strap. The left leg is straight out from the hip. Heels on the floor. Toes and knees are pointing up. And knee are pointing up. Put your strap around the ball of that left foot. Now, you have 2 options here. Again, it's going to depend on your flexibility, and you're going to pay attention to this low back. So, holding the strap in the left hand, you want to just make sure you have a nice stretch in that hamstring. Your right arm is going to hug your right knee in towards you. And you can see how you're going to come forward a little bit. If you've got that blanket that you're sitting on, that's going to help. Now, as you come forward, make sure you don't round the spine. You're just coming forward. Use your strap. Maybe if you're a little more flexible, you can hold on to your toes. But watch that low back, okay? Now, here's another option. If you're a little more flexible, you're going to take that right knee towards your armpit, so towards the outside a little bit. Bring that right shoulder forward, and then wrap your right arm around that right knee, and then try to hug it in a little bit. Good. But again, do not do that if you feel that low back rounding. This is only if you're just a little bit more flexible. Okay? And again, you can hold your toe here too. Good. Keep breathing. And then with your inhale, go ahead and release. Come on back up. And we'll try it on the other side. Good. So right leg is extended. You've pulled that left foot in. Again, you're just going to hug it with that left arm. I'm really hugging that knee in. Strap will go across the ball of that right foot. Extend that right arm, or possibly holding on to your toes if you don't round the low back. If you're a little more flexible, taking that knee out to the side. And then what you're going to do is you turn that arm, so it's an internal rotation to bring that arm around behind you. Good. You can try it. I mean, obviously try it the minute you feel discomfort or pain, though, back off. So if you have any shoulder issues, this might not be right here, might not be the best for you. Just hug that knee in. You're still getting that stretch in the right hamstring. That's what we want. Tighten the top of the right thigh. Maybe hold your toes. Good. And keep breathing. Everybody's at a different level. Some people are still really tight in the hamstrings. Other people just are a little more flexible. So just giving some options. Good. All right. Go ahead and inhale, lift the torso, release your strap. And then bending the right knee because we want to bring the soles of the feet together. Good. Now again, this is watching that low back because this one you can really round the back. Sitting up on a blanket will help. It tilts the pelvis forward, so it prevents some of that rounding. We've done this before. We bring our arms behind us. I usually do it on my fingertips. Just pressing those fingertips into the mat and then pressing through my knees. Don't press through your heels. Press through your knees. See if you can open up those inner thighs a little bit. If you want to hold on to your feet, you've got to keep that back straight. And then maybe coming forward a little bit. Again, really pay attention to that low back. Good, and breathe. Good, and then go ahead and inhale, come on back up. Extend those legs out in front of you, shake them out a little bit. And then we'll come down on our backs, grab your, mine's over here. Grab your block. We will take a minute or so to do a modified legs up the wall. We're going to use the block. Also, anything else you would like for Savasana, if you'd like to maybe put some socks on or a blanket to cover up with, just make sure that those are nearby. And then rolling down on your side again, and then on your back. Bending your knees. If you have a block, we'll use a block. If you have a yoga bolster, I know not a lot of people do, it's actually a great prop. You can use your bolster too. It doesn't dig into your low back as much. I have also taken my block and put a blanket over it. So if you feel that this is uncomfortable for you, you can try that too. All right, so coming back into that bridge position, just press into your feet, lift your hips. Now you're going to take your block or a bolster if you have it, place it right underneath your sacrum, that flat part of the low back or the end of the spine. Good. And you may have to adjust that a little bit to find what's comfortable. Then pick your feet up off the mat, bend the knees, and extend those legs up. And that's not comfortable for me. There we go. So once you have your legs up, it really should feel effortless to keep those legs up there. The hips are supported here. Good. And then we'll just take about a minute just to relax. This is an inversion. It's a mild inversion. If you do have high blood pressure and you don't feel comfortable doing this, you can always slide your chair over, remove the block and just rest your legs on the chair. That will also give you the benefit. Basically what this is doing is sending the blood from those lower extremities back to the heart. Great pose to do at the end of the day if you've been on your feet for a long time or sitting for a long time too. Good. Just have about 15 more seconds. And then to come out of the pose, go ahead and bend your knees. Now to protect your low back so you don't overarch it, bring one foot down at a time and then the other. Lift the hips a little bit to remove your block. And then from here, just extend those legs. We'll come into Savasana. Again, if there's anything you'd like to do to make yourself more comfortable, go ahead and do that. I'm going to come up to a seated position. You stay on the mat or laying down on the mat. Get my blanket organized. Okay. So as you make your way into Savasana, making yourself comfortable, maybe wiggling out anything, extending those legs. As you relax the leg muscles, just let the feet fall out to the side. Arms are a few inches away from the body. Rotate the palms so they're facing up to open up through the chest. And then closing the eyes, bringing the attention back to the breath. Again, notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. After your next inhale, begin to lengthen the exhale. And continue lengthening each exhale until they become about twice as long as the inhale. And focus on the physical body. Relax all the muscles from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Release any tension or tightness. And then focus on the mind. Release any thoughts, worries, or anxieties. Imagine yourself in a place that brings you peace. And give yourself just a few moments to completely let go. begin to deepen your breath. And then start moving your fingers, toes, and then the wrists and the ankles. And when you're ready, bending both knees and rolling onto your right side in a fetal position. And just taking a few breaths here. And then using your left hand to support you, pushing yourself back up into a seated position. And keeping the body relaxed and the eyes closed for just another moment. Focus on the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. And then we'll take one more deep cleansing breath. So take a nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.